Hello and welcome to next section of our video. So here I'll tell you what all we are going to cover in our Android Studio part. So this is our Android Studio introduction. So I'll tell you the topics which I'm going to cover for Android Studio. The first topic I'll cover is about the features of Android Studio. As you are already aware, like Android Studio is nothing but it's the official IDE, integrated development environment for Android platform development. We develop our Android apps in Android Studio. So I'll tell you about the features of the Android Studio, why Google has recommended Android Studio for development of the Android apps. Next we will see why it is better than an Eclipse. So why we have or you can say why Google has migrated from Eclipse and purchased Android Studio so that the developers can build their app in Android Studio. So I'll tell you about the pros and cons of using a Studio and why it is always better than an Eclipse. Next we will see about the software tools for Studio installation. So what all tools are required for Studio installation as a prerequisite tool, so you should already have that handy. So once you begin with the installation, those tools should be already installed in your machine before installing your Android Studio. So I'll tell you everything about that. Next will be the PC configuration and the prerequisites. So it's very important because Studio takes a lot of memory, so it's very important you should your PC configuration and the prerequisites should be fulfilled before you start your installation. So I'll tell you about this PC configuration and prerequisites. Next we will see about the installation and the configuration of the JDK. So JDK, Java Development Kit, it's very important. But once before you do Studio installation, the JDK should be installed in your machine. So I'll tell you about the installation and the configuration of the JDK. Next will be our downloading and installing the Android Studio. So how, from where you can download the Android Studio, how you can install the Android Studio, I'll tell you everything about it. And the last but not the least, we'll see about the configure Android Studio packages. So it's very important to configure the packages, because if you have not configured the packages, not be able to build app, because the packages will be something related to building your app for the Android devices. So whatever version of devices you are going to install your app or build your app, you have to install the packages particularly specific to that version of the devices. So thank you, and let's see you in the next section.